Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now, Lurch. Want to ride longer? Tired of a sore and achy ass? Then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full lineup of butt buffer seat cushions. Ooh, exclusive only here.
Breaking news.
Okay.
Alert.
I don't have my news thing, dude. Yeah, I need
Do you have one?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you do. Oh. Big deal. Alert.
This is
breaking news.
I honestly, guys, have no clue what's happening right now, but this is not scripted. So this better be breaking.
You're about to break something.
Oh, you're... Dude, you totally threw me.
Oh, I didn't mean to throw you.
I thought you were actually had something. You're looking at your phone like something I needed to know.
No.
All right, breaking news. I love it.
Dude, I was filling in what you were saying.
Nice,
breaking
dude.
news, alert.
And then I thought you had something for real.
I see why, because I was holding my phone.
Because I'm like, holy shit, he's got something, because there's thunderstorms tonight. And I was like, oh, what's burning? All right, so this is breaking news,
sorry,
guys.
bud.
No, it's funny.
I'm sorry.
That's how we roll, dude. That keeps it natural, right? I like it. But breaking news, guys, exclusive here only to law-abiding biker media. That's right. It's actually kind of dangerous what we're about this episode, because we got in our possession some leaked documents.
Top secret
from Harley-Davidson.
From the mother company.
Well, they didn't send them to us. We don't know who. No. We can't actually give our source.
Can't tell you who gave it to us.
Can't give you the source.
We will not divulge our source.
We can't unmask.
No
unmasking
here.
Dude. But guys, we got these, and we are, I think, the first and only people to actually break this to you.
I'm pretty sure.
And we're a big deal.
We're kind of a big deal around here.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And we feel like a big deal because we got sent these documents. They're all about two new leaked Harley-Davidson models that you're going to want to know about. And then we're going to follow up with it, Lurch, for the audience with some other information they need on some other bikes and some things that Harley is currently doing. And they're in a pivot. We'll talk about that. But most of all, we've actually got the leaked documents right here in our hands. We're looking at them. We're looking at some blueprints. Is that what you call them?
That's what I would call them, yeah.
Some sketches.
Schematics. Blueprints.
All right. I didn't know.
Email, documents, secret files, personnel files.
We've got some pictures of some people that we can't release.
I would call it a dossier.
You're right. Yeah, dude.
We've got the Erlacher dossier.
But it's true dossier. Dude.
The Harley-Davidson dossier.
The Harley-Davidson dossier.
Yeah.
Now, we're actually sitting in the studio right now.
In the middle of a storm.
If you guys wonder why I'm talking quiet.
Washington weather crazy this time of year.
It has been crazy. But we're sitting here in the dark studio and I'm talking quiet because any second we're waiting for the Harley police to actually knock on the door.
Pretty sure they're tapping our phones.
Dude, because this is serious stuff. If they knew that we had this stuff, we could go to Harley jail. So we're just trying to be quiet. Hang on. Dude, did you hear that?
I did. Hold on.
Hang on.
Harley police.
Harley police, search warrant. We know you have the documents. Lurch, run.
Grab the dossier and run.
Oh my God. Ridiculousness. So yeah, hang on a sec. I got to get up and lock the door. Hang on.
Oh yeah. We don't want them guys getting in.
I actually always do lock that because I don't want somebody just coming in during the podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like my daughters have.
Yeah. But usually they're pretty good at slowly opening the door and peering in like, what are you doing?
Interrupting either way. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they can obviously, I assume they can hear us when they're out there.
Yeah, and they usually know we're rolling. But tonight I'm not worried about my family. I'm worried about the Harley Popo.
The HD Popo.
They just, you don't hear a lot about the Harley police, but
you never do about the secret police.
They, people just come up missing, straight up, dude. So, anyways, you guys will want to stick around for this one because there's some serious Shiite going down. Hey, Bikeaholics, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. I like gold. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. Let's just do this one. Let's just do it. Oh, yeah. Hang on, guys. Welcome back, you freaking Bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority of the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history by being here, by listening to this very podcast. That's right. You are part of what we call
the hashtag Biker Revolution.
There you go. There you go. Lurch.
Yeah, buddy.
Before we get started, we just have one question for the audience. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
There you go, guys. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
That's right. The man, the myth, the legend. Money. And yeah, guys, we're on a back-to-back episode here. So we did a live, which was cool. It was on oil sumping. So you'll probably hear that one before you hear this. That's
most likely.
That's how we're going to keep that, probably.
Generally speaking.
Never
know.
It will be several months. Unless
you're a patron
member, because you get this. We try to upload it within a day in the back end of your patron account, so you can get everything early, because a lot of it is cutting edge information, and we still like to put it out, obviously, to the rest of the podcast audience, but it is definitely down the road by the time that happens. So today's episode, obviously, Harley 2 new leaked bikes and other future models, and yes, we're just busting your balls. We got no secret access. We're full of shit. We got nothing, Lurch.
All we have is our intelligence and intuition. So I don't know what that's worth.
It's kind of relieving, because I don't want the Harley police after me. It's not how I want to live my life, Lurch. Looking over my shoulder.
You don't want to be on the run?
I don't want to be on the run, dude. I think generally speaking, Harley-Davidson probably, number one, they probably don't know who I am. Number two, if they did, they hate me.
As I say, I think they do.
They might, and they probably hate me.
And we are Harley lovers. Dude, we're very Harley.
That's what people think sometimes.
There's several out in the garage there between yours and mine.
Our channel's built on it.
Yeah, but we're honest about it. I mean, it's our favorite brand. We like American V twin bikes, but nothing's perfect, and we're pretty honest when it comes down to it. No motor company is perfect, and we're more than willing to point out the flaws. Are you having a problem over there? This is cute. He's trying to figure out how to work his bottle opener.
I haven't used this one in a while. So,
because usually I prepare you for the podcast. You're over there getting set up and getting everything dialed in, and I just bring you one with the top off.
A Celerity credit union.
Yeah, that is a unique one. That you have to work that one backwards.
Okay, see, it's not just me. Okay.
That's not just you. You got to work it backwards. But a lot of people assume that we're HD haters, and that is not the case. I mean, a lot of us have our Harley tattoos. We've got a lot of Harley gear. We got a lot of Harley bikes. It's just, hey, motor company's not perfect, and we're fair and honest and balanced. And occasionally we point out some flaws. And,
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, nicely said. And with that said, that's how we can speak honestly, because we love them.
Yeah.
We're critical of them, and we have a right to be. We have a ton of money invested in their bikes.
And if Harley's listening, they're making improvements based on some of the things we've said.
They probably are listening to this podcast to try to figure out how to do their own, because they clearly haven't figured out how to do their own yet.
I know.
I'm sorry, dude.
You're a busy man. You haven't had the opportunity.
No,
to
I got to.
It's an effort. They made an effort, but they're 7 to 8 minutes long. They're short little interviews with people, and there's no opener.
There's no value.
It's just
you're not going to learn anything.
No,
they're not going to say, "Hey, we've had a problem with oil sumping in our bikes, and here's the solution." They're never going to do that.
It's more of it's not even an infomercial. It's strange.
That's what the private Facebook group said.
I haven't quite figured it out yet.
The guys,
they're short.
Yeah,
I mean they're 5 to 8 minutes long, and a lot of them are people in the industry one way or another. It's almost like It's almost like they called up somebody and say, let's say they called Ryan Urlacher. Hey, Ryan,
I haven't done that yet.
But if they ever do, which they probably won't.
They probably
should. They do, I envision it like this, where somebody calls you or interviews you and said, tell us about yourself. And you talk about yourself and Harley, and that's about it. And it's 8 minutes long, and then we make a podcast out of that. It's so short; it's hardly even worth the time.
Investment.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I hope they develop it into something.
Did you expect anything different after Harley TV debacle? And now, dude, they're both going to die. Let's just tell everybody. Their podcast on their channel. The only reason it would ever survive is because Harley has a shitload of money to throw behind it to keep it, even though it's not doing anything for them. They'll try to keep it alive. But
yeah, we've talked.
There's no value proposition there. You have to provide value to people. You have to. Company podcasts don't often work out. Okay. The reason company podcasts don't work out is there can't be any unbiased. There's going to be bias because so they threw themselves into a difficult situation. Look at it. How many company podcasts are popular? There's not.
None that I'm aware of. It's
independent. Same with YouTube channels. Yeah. Business YouTube channels don't do well. Harley YouTube channel doesn't do well. Like people, they don't want to hear from the business. They want to hear from Matt, the Lurch, and they want to hear from people that are living, eating, breathing.
Like me, what do they think?
That don't have a stake in the game. Right. I don't care what happened.
Unbiased, unfiltered, honest opinion.
Yes, from people that are actually out writing, like me and you. Right, like I want to see like-minded people.
Exactly.
So those company podcasts and company YouTube channels are dead before they start, and that's just the way that with the influencer marketing and the industries in general are going, and it's hard for big companies like Harley to figure that out because they think, oh well, we're Harley, we'll start a YouTube channel, everybody will love us. No, actually they don't. They'll go elsewhere to get unbiased information because they know you're going to feed them what you want them to hear. Good information, good tangent, really, right?
That'll happen.
Didn't expect to go there. So it'll be interesting to see how long they try to keep that little thing going, because it's just not going to have a great listenership. And just like their YouTube channel doesn't have a great viewership, people click in and click out,
Yeah, and it's also the type of podcast and the type of videos they're putting out. I mean, if you put out a informational video on a product that you create and you make, and it's like a, not necessarily a review, but a how-to, maybe an installation video or something like that.
And that's all you're doing.
I'd find that very useful.
Right.
So if I bought a Harley shifter linkage and you make a video from the mother company, this is how you install it, I'd find value in that.
Correct. Value. That's the key word.
Exactly. I just don't necessarily find value in you making a commercial trying to sell me something.
Right. And that's all you do.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. People can accept commercials if you're providing a ton of value because there's a reason behind that, right? But they can't just accept you're just telling them what they want to hear and promoting your own, and that's the thing. Harley's never gonna get on a podcast and talk about the stuff we talk about. Like, no, there's been some serious issues with A and B and C, and they're not admitting it, and blah blah blah, and critical of their new bikes, right? Like we're gonna talk about critical or we like them. And I like conversations like that
until the end of the podcast. But
exactly.
Yes, I've got some strong opinions.
I like that. I like that.
And I think I share them with a lot of the bikers that are out there. We're all a little bit confused.
Yes. You might, you will expand on that. So good.
I shall.
So new free video, and God, I've got so many videos out now, guys.
You have been churning and burning, my friend. You've been working hard during this COVID-19 to make sure that our community is getting content, because I shouldn't say everybody, there's a lot of folks that are stuck at home and they're starved for some type of entertainment because a lot of the countries...
Not the Harley podcast, sorry.
No, it's not. A lot of the countries, shut down, and there's only so much you can do. And so if you can't go camping, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't travel, you're digging deeper and deeper into the internet for entertainment and looking for value and looking at videos. And we've actually come across a lot of new members, I would say, as this thing's come on. So it's been great for us, but you've worked your butt off to make sure that you're pumping out content during this time to keep our audience infotained.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
It's hard to keep up with. I mean,
but the response has been
overwhelming.
Awesome.
Yeah. Humbling.
It has. It's been awesome. So thank you guys for your support. And if you're not, which I hope everybody that listens to the podcast is subscribed to the YouTube channel. Because if you're not, I'm just telling you, we love the podcast, and make sure you're subscribed to it, number one. But number two is you're missing out if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, because there's a whole nother level of different kind of content. A lot of the same, but a lot of very different, like my more creative documentary films. And then just a lot of, like we say, we talk about a lot of stuff here, but then you can go over to the YouTube channel and grab the video and actually sit in your shop. As we've seen, many guys send us pictures of their laptop setup working with their bike torn apart, saying, I'm just literally pausing and playing to go through the process of, like we did today.
It's
bleeding
just,
brakes,
just
bleeding clutch.
Different content.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is different format, maybe. Something that takes us an hour and a half to talk about in a podcast form, maybe a 15-minute video, because the way it's produced and the way it's put together. So
right.
Both are valuable, but they're different.
The podcast is more personal.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel is more on cue, straight. Here's pump you with information.
Right.
Where here we give our thoughts, opinions, and you'll get a little bit more information here. Rather than just how to do it,
right.
Maybe some of the things behind it more in depth and things like that. So they're very two different.
We get off on
mediums.
tangents on the podcast. We start talking. And,
clearly here, because we haven't even started which is awesome.
What's this episode about?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Clearly, that case in point.
Yeah.
Right here, guys.
So we've heard,
you get to know us a little bit better.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. It's like hanging out with us. And when we do our live events, it's like hanging out with our audience, and you get a little bit more of our opinion
and humor.
And humor. And we
that we're real
routinely get comments. I love it, because we were in the beginning of the podcast, we would go off on tangents, and we felt that maybe we were going astray and taking it down a weird path, and people may not listen, or they might get lost in the conversation. And we found out that they really enjoy our tangents more than anything. True. I'm a podcast listener. I listen to several of them, and for me, it's like being there hanging out with the hosts.
Yeah,
you got your earphones on, and it's like being right there. It's a conversation. You're part of it. Totally well said. New free video out on the channel is the Sony. We got a ton of new videos, but it's the Sony XAV-AX7000 versus the Harley Boombox GTS. Lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is. I will put a link to that video. But it is very, and we did this on a podcast too. So make sure you go back and hear the podcast too. Me and Squid did this episode, but I followed it up with that very in-your-face informational, not in your face, I shouldn't say, but very to the point, only what you need to know exactly, and broke that down for you. So, if you're interested in whether you should get the Sony XAV-AX7000 or the Boombox GTS, that'd be a good video for you, because I do the pros and cons of both along with the podcast episode we did. There are many considerations you need to take into account, and one or the other isn't going to work for everybody. So, with that said, that is a new free video on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. There you go. And bell icon while you're over there, so that you're notified when we come out with new free videos. You'll get alerts and all that kind of stuff, guys. So, all right. So diving in here, the two new leaked Harleys, and then, and then a lot of other conversation and information we have. But we love our sponsors, of course, our regular, company sponsors, but these people are also direct sponsors and are a large part and reason that this platform continues on down the road. We would like to thank Nicholas Davis of Waterloo, Iowa, Carl Coventry of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Love our Canadians. And Kenneth Pacheco of Pueblo, Colorado. And these are all of some of our newest patron members, if I didn't mention. Tom Rausch of Goleta, California. John Goodrich of Vancouver, Washington, right here in Washington State. Nathan Horton of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And Jeff Cross of Maricopa, Arizona. He is top tier. Bob Crowling of Chesapeake, Virginia, also top tier. And Dwayne Austin of Seminole, Florida. Lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. That's right, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content, no risk to you, because you could put a monthly cap. There are benefits such as t-shirts and stickers. You can get into the private troll-free Facebook group. That's right. Access months ahead.
access to our podcast early, access to our live video broadcast and chat, access to our ride meetup events, and those premium videos up on request, depending on what tier you sign up as. And as Lurch mentioned, we have been really rocking the new patrons, and we are so thankful to each of you. And you guys know, and that's fine. You probably get tired of me talking about patrons, but I don't care, because they are the backbone of Law Abiding Biker Media and have been since the beginning, and we will continue to thank them every chance we get and give them more benefits and more recognition, and love reading their names on here. So thank you guys for your continued support. Get hooked up, guys. Get hooked up. You get this podcast months early, huh, Lurch?
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
We usually have 2 to 3 months worth. So that's
we're doing good this year.
6 to 9 in the bucket. So this podcast, if you're hearing it right now on your podcast aggregator, it was probably recorded 2 to 3 months ago.
Yep.
But our patrons got to hear it the day after.
Yep. Usually within 2 days.
Yep,
we usually upload it within a couple days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. So everyone knows by now that Harley has been really trying to reach this broader customer base, Lurch. And I would say, I submit that it's important to their future existence. I've done some past YouTube videos on this.
Right.
And I've stated my opinion, and I think most people agree with me. So back in July 2018, guys, Harley announced their, quote, More Roads to Harley strategy. All right. Now, if you haven't already, you really should head over, get up to speed, and watch my video on CEO Matthew Levatich quitting and the current state of the motor company. We also did a podcast episode on this, so I would hit both because we get a lot more in depth. I don't remember the podcast number on that. We did do a podcast. It may not even be out yet because it'll be out before this one. So, anyways, get hooked up on those. The YouTube video's out as of the time. So if you're listening to this as a patron member, you can hit that video blew up. I forget how many.
Oh, it's
got
insane.
Like almost 400,000 views now or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That video blew up, and it's very informational. A lot of comments and conversation, because it's an issue. There's the Harley haters and Harley lovers, and we're neither. We love our Harleys and we hate our Harleys. We're somewhere all the way in between. I do hope for their success, because I think I do. Yeah. I love my Harleys, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, get over there and check that video out. Join the conversation over there. So of course, because of the new, more roads to Harley and all this, and this pivot and all this stuff that Harley's doing, we've seen them trying to be very innovative. Of course, with the late 2019 announcement of the Pan America adventure bike, and if you guys forget, the Bronx Streetfighter. Now, these two bikes are scheduled to go into production, Lurch, later this year. And now I've heard rumor, I don't know if it's true, that that was the original idea, but with Levatich stepping down, that they've postponed those a little bit just with the company structure. But
it makes sense.
Yeah. So it could be later this year, could be beyond. I don't know. I'll be watching for you. Okay. So now I'm personally, and you guys know this, and Lurch knows this, is I'm personally most excited about the Pan America adventure bike. Now it's their first step into doing any type of adventure. They certainly need to get into this market. I think the Pan America is rather sexy looking. I'm curious to see what it's all about. We know some of the specs on it, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good first shot. Will I get it? Probably not. I'm loving my KLR. It has a purpose. The kind of riding I'm doing right now, the KLR would be more suited to it, because it's definitely a bigger, heavier bike, more in line of competition of the BMWs, right?
Yeah. So you're talking about the Pan America being bigger.
Pan America.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a street bike that has off-road capability, whereas your KLR is more of an off-road bike that has street capability.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's really hard to find the perfect mix of both, and I think we
depends what kind of riding. Yeah.
I think we've covered that in other podcast videos, but
depth.
Yeah, they definitely tend to lean one way or the other.
Right. There's bigger adventure bikes, smaller adventure bikes. Street bikes, there's bigger, there's smaller. It'd be a great for running to Alaska and going around and doing Forest Service roads, but doing like more aggressive, like steep trail riding like me and Oscar are doing. I mean, we're doing some Forest Service road and fire roads too. KLR handles that fine, but we're also hitting some gnarly shit up steep hills, and it's just a bigger, heavier bike. So around us right now, the KLR is more suited for that. But like I say, it's for the BMW, a direct competitor like the BMW
GS.
Adventures. Yeah, exactly. Is my take.
I agree. But like for you and Oscar right now, you guys both have Harley-Davidson touring model bikes. So if you're going to go touring, you're going to do
right.
that. What makes sense for you at the moment is to have a bike that's a little more off-road centric.
Yes, because we got both worlds.
But it's street legal. You're covered both worlds. If you're only going to have one bike, then maybe you want to go with something bigger like a Pan America or one of the
totally
BMWs or something that's a little more capable on road, but can get you there off road, right?
Yeah, depending on what kind of off road you're doing, right?
You're not trail riding with them.
Exactly. And you're just, like I said, Forest Service roads and fire roads and all that kind of stuff, golden. And again, with our KLRs, it's more, just so we don't have to trailer them to where we need to get, but we need more dirt capabilities. You know what I mean? So again, we have done some in-depth, and that will continue into the future because obviously love our street bikes, but we're getting more into adventure stuff too. And we just love the sport. I know Lurch is itching. I've
been eyeballing one.
He's thinking maybe we'll see Lurch get an adventure next year if his life changes a bit here. So and he's got his eye on one, which I drool over, but I can't justify right now, but it's a beautiful KTM, dude.
Yeah, the 790 Adventure R.
It makes me wood out every time I see that thing, dude. Just saying. I just can't justify it right now. I gotta get a couple more years.
That sounds like a new terminology that I have not heard yet.
Wood out?
Wood out.
Oh yeah, dude. You can wood out. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever heard it put in that way.
Yeah. Well, maybe I just made it up.
Kind of weird.
I may have just made that shit up. That's what I do. All right. So, I'm really interested in the Pan America. Now, my fear is that Harley's because it's their first adventure biker.
That's my concern.
Yeah, going to be way overpriced. Most riders, it won't. They won't be able to purchase it. It won't be worth what it is. The value basically.
And how good is it going to be when it's their first shot at it?
Correct.
There's like your KLR's been around for 20 plus years.
No more. Yeah.
25 years. Some insane. Amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a lot of perfection that's been done in those bikes. Where now
they've proven themselves.
Right now you're going to buy the Pan America, which is Harley's first version. I'm interested in it.
Kind of like the Milwaukee 8 and oil sumping.
Yes, exactly. Talked about that in the last episode. But Harley adventure bike is a new adventure, if you will. And I don't know if I want to jump in right at the beginning. I kind of want to let it get tested a little bit.
Yep. That's a good point. That's another good thing to think about. But yeah, the biggest fear is the overpriced, as we saw with the Livewire, their first electric motorcycle, just bam. Nobody's touching them. They're trying to give, they're doing giveaways. People just it's outrageous. For your first electric bike, you can't. So,
they own the market with the touring bikes and a lot of the Softails and the Dynas. They had a niche. Now they're starting to try and venture into some other markets. And I think they're finding that they don't own those markets and they can't demand the price that they're asking. And they're going to have to figure out what is a reasonable price for the type of bike they're building and what is the competition doing. And so we'll get into a little bit when we talk about these two models, but they're definitely venturing out and trying to attract different riders and have more options to keep the brand going. You do have to diversify and change or you will die.
Yep.
And we'll wait to the end when I share my opinion. But hardcore older Harley guys are having a hard time with this change, this new Rose to Harley kind of initiative.
Right. Which is interesting because they're probably on their way out of the Harley market. So it really doesn't matter to a certain extent what some of the older, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess I consider myself at 45, 46.
Yeah, but you're still in the market for a lot of years.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess you're talking like guys in their 60s.
Yeah. If that's what you're talking about. Old. I'm not considering myself old, dude.
I know, bud, but we're getting there. We're not spring chickens anymore. When you're looking at bringing people into the market and getting them into Harley, you're looking at guys in their 25s.
I figure us as somewhere
30s.
In the middle of the market. That's kind of how I look at it.
I know you like to think that, but I don't know if that's necessarily the truth.
Let me think it, Lurch.
Yeah, don't think about your average brand new first time Harley buyer. I mean, for me, I was in my mid to late 20s. I couldn't afford one right away.
Well, that's the stories of everybody
start
you
talking
hear.
to people. They're like, I wanted one. I thought they're cool.
I waited for 10 years before I could afford one.
I wasn't ready quite yet. I still wanted to rip around on a crotch rocket. And
my back went bad. And I'm like, fuck that shit.
Then I wanted to put some miles down and have something comfortable. And, I bought my first Harley, which was a soft tail or a Dyna, and then eventually kind of move into touring, right? So, but I don't know that Harley's necessarily, or motorcycle in general, is attracting people to a touring type of lifestyle right away. So they've got to start looking at these bikes, these smaller bikes, to bring people into the Harley brand. Mm-hmm. For me, it was a Dyna. For you, it was a Dyna. But that style of bike may not be what these younger generation is looking at. They're looking at things like this we're about to talk about.
Maybe. Might be too late.
Maybe
they're playing catch up.
They may be behind the curve, but this is the kind of thing that they're trying to bring people into the brand. Because once and
I like all motorcycles, so it's hard for me. But
I like them, but I
doesn't mean I'll buy it.
Yeah, right.
There's two different things there. Yeah,
I kind of expect some certain things out of a Harley, and some of these newer ones don't seem to have that.
I hear you. So the images of these two new models first appeared in a document released to Harley-Davidson investors in late September 2019. But since then, Harley has filed design patents with the European Union Intellectual Property Office. So both the Pan America and Bronx will have the Revolution Max engine, and it seems that the same engine will be carried over to the two newest models that we're going to talk about here in a moment, guys. So just a reminder, I want to remind you guys that the More Roads to Harley strategy also detailed that the Revolution Max engine is due to appear in at least 5 Streetfighter bikes, 5 custom bikes, and 2 adventure models. So,
and for the listening audience, what's the biggest difference in that Max, that Revolution Max? Is it the liquid cooled? I mean, it's quite, from more of your classic Harley V twin.
Yeah, I mean you remember the little Street 750 that we did the review on way back in the day. That's a Revolution.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, the Revolution.
But this is the Revolution Max, but it was water cooled too. So I don't honestly know all the specs on the Revolution Max and what is all different about it. I don't know. It seems to be their new flagship engine for these types of bikes that they're going to be pumping into them.
It seems like more of a...
Sorry, audience, I did not research any of that. No,
I didn't mean to throw it
I'm afraid to admit when I have not researched something,
It's definitely a different type of motor. There's no doubt about it. And I was looking to see what they even sounded like.
Oh, you were prior to the podcast.
I can't find it. I don't know what they sound like.
Yeah.
Part of what Harley is something that's a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit something that's unrefined, that's loud, that pisses off your
these
neighbors.
aren't going to be.
This isn't that.
No, this
is not that.
This is more of a
sport bike
metric
motor.
Yeah, like you're
closer to the Buell stuff in the past.
It ain't going to sound like a Harley, bro.
Probably less even like a Buell.
Dude, prior to the podcast, Lurch was actually trying to find the sound. And so I was getting the podcast ready, and Lurch was over here on his laptop trying to and I wanted to hear it too, but he's trying to find some sounds of motorcycles, but this is all I heard coming out of his laptop. And I'm like, dude.
I'm like, where are you going with this?
I'm
Obviously,
like, that is not. Are you on to me like that these days where you can tell when I'm going on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't trick you anymore.
No. I knew you were going somewhere.
That's all I could hear out of your damn laptop, dude. I'm like, that is not the Revolution Max unless there's a vibrator after the Revolution Max. So, guys. I don't know a lot about that, but it seems like it's their new flagship. So,
still a V twin.
You looking at it?
Yeah, but a different look to it, and I'm sure it sounds quite a bit different. The air cooled versus the oil cooled, the water cooled versus an oil or an air.
Right, like our traditional Harleys.
Yeah. They I don't know.
I do want to hear it, bro. It's a good point.
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's
we have to go down to the local dealership and fire a couple up.
That's for me.
Because I haven't.
The sound's a big part of it.
Right. Well, we can't really fire them up yet, but when they come out at some point, I want, especially the Pan America. I'm never going to buy one of those. I'll tell you, especially for the reasons you said it's their first one. I don't have any use for it, but I just want to ride it. I just want to see it because I think it's exciting that they're getting into the adventure market. So that's the only reason I really want to even screw around with that bike. Be cool if I get one and do a YouTube review. like I did on the FXDR. That'd be awesome.
Harley should send you one. You should do a review on it. Since they're trying to, honest feedback.
Since they're listening to my podcast,
if they want more roads to Harley, they should go through Ryan Erlacher.
That's right, more roads to Law-Abiding Biker Media.
That's right.
All right, no, everyone knows by now. Oh, we're past that. Okay, so let's dive in to the first leak model, Flat Tracker. Lurch Flat Tracker.
I like the look of them. For me, it's both these bikes. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", and I'm not small framed either. I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And so even your average touring bike doesn't fit me right away. My Road Glide Special, it's a 2015. I had to put extended brake pedal on it. I put the extended reach floor pans on it. I put different bars on it.
I want to see you ride this
to make it comfortable for me. While I like the look of it, I get what's going on here. I couldn't ride it.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case for a lot of people. Now, remember that these bikes are made for normal people.
Yeah, I'm normal.
So, yeah, no, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Below average.
So this bike is going to fit a wide range of riders at average height. All right. It's a good point.
And keep that in mind.
It's a good point.
Yes. I'm a little bit biased.
It's a good point, though. It is not going to fit everybody. So now this model, I'll say this Flat Tracker seems to be loosely modeled off the XG750R Flat Tracker. And we have a picture of it up here, guys. But if you get a chance to look up that bike, it is very cool. And this can be seen in the shape of the tank, the seat, and the two stacked exhaust pipes on the right side. So if you're listening to the podcast, well, obviously you are, but pull up the XG750R and then pull up the new Flat Tracker. Now I'm going to try to do as good a notes as I can for this episode. So I'll have a lot of these photos in the show notes for the podcast, lawabidingbiker.com/ whatever episode number this is. And I'll try to have some of the images and things we're looking at, but they can be found other places online. So, but you'll definitely see it in that tank seat and the stacked exhaust pipe on the right side. So looking closely now, when you look at this picture, it appears the script on the air cleaner housing reads 975. Now that indicates, guys, that it's the same version of the engine used in the Bronx Streetfighter, which is that Revolution Max engine. That means a claimed 115 horsepower and 70 pound-feet. Now, it's worth noting, Lurch, that there's also a 145 horsepower, 90 pound-feet, 1250cc version of the same Revolution Max engine. Now, the two are externally identical. All right, so that to me means that it would be simple for Harley to slide the larger engine in.
So you think potentially you can get different versions?
I don't know. Either they're going to pick one motor, likely the 975 since we see that script on it, or they're going to offer it in two displacement options. So I don't know. Nobody really knows that. We're just kind of guessing.
A special model or a CVO model or something.
Maybe, or maybe they'll just offer it in two displacements.
Yeah.
You can either get the 975 or the 1250cc.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess they could name it a special too because of that. Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah, you see that in Sportsters and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With different displacement options. So yeah, we'll see.
They'll be just rippers.
Oh, with the 1250cc. Yeah. I mean, even the 975.
They don't weigh much.
Yeah.
Little bike like that.
Little rippers. All right. So the Flat Tracker chassis that comes on this thing, it appears, if you look at these schematics and these drawings that we have it all in an Evernote here, but it appears that it's very similar, the chassis, to the Bronx Streetfighter. Has the same forks and Brembo front brakes, but there is a tubular, triangulated is the best way I could describe it for the podcast audience here, swing arm that is different. So it's very interesting swing arm. I kind of like it. It's definitely got its own flair and own style. And one thing that really stands out to me, Lurch, on this bike that I think is pretty cool is the triangulated tubing coming off the left side, as you see it there, to situate the signals, brake light, and license plate.
Definitely has a cafe style street bike European look to it.
Flat Tracker, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yeah, I got the schematic up there on the screen for you, Lurch. But
I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, you got the same note up. Yeah, it's a short little bike, really compact. Yeah, I think it's sexy in its own way.
Do you think they have that set up so you can pop that bad boy off and just race it on the flat track?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Yeah, you mean the triangulated thing?
Yeah,
in the back?
If you look at the XG750R flat tracker that it's based off of, that bike does not have. It's not set up.
I'm scrolling down.
Yeah, it's not really set up to ride on the street. So
no, but that's actually a flat tracker that they use for racing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this one, that's a street legal version where you can have that, but you could probably take that bad boy off.
You probably could. I'm sure you could. Yeah, I'm sure you could. And then it would look really similar.
It's unique. It's something new for Harley. It's kind of a cool look.
Yep. So look that up, guys. Both those bikes, and you'll kind of see as you go along the podcast, if you want to follow along there, you'll kind of see why we're comparing it to the XG750R flat tracker, that we have to believe it's heavily based on that bike. Mm-hmm.
It looks like a street legal version of that bike.
Exactly. Repurposed street legal version.
Mm-hmm.
I think the square headline on it is pretty cool.
The first time I saw that thing was on the Fat Bob.
Exactly.
That I'm aware of, like 2018, I think it is. Let me look here.
That is exactly where that came from. Okay. So if you guys have seen a Fat Bob.
2018 was the first time I saw it, Fat Bob.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. And it gives it a good overall look on that bike. So yeah, I think it'd be a fun little bike, like we say, especially if it comes in the 1250cc version. Little ripper, of course.
Can you turn that little triangulated tail light and license plate holder into a wheelie bar?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Angle it down and throw some casters on it.
That's what I'm saying, bro, because you know this thing can do it.
Yeah.
You know this thing can do it, especially if that 1250cc, dude. Yeah. Money little bike, fun. We'll get to our opinions overall here in a little bit, but we want to definitely dive into the second leaked bike here.
Hey, bikeaholics. Search for new and exciting motorcycle products. Serial 3D has products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Serial 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Serial 3D has a design team with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Serial and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@serial3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Serial or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Serial 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for your new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Serial 3D products.
Yeah, baby. Second leaked bike. Are you guys ready for it? Drum roll. What movie was that on?
It was Christmas
Lampoons.
Vacation.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Drum roll. Everybody's just. That's funny.
They're
shit,
beautiful,
dude.
sparky. I can see them sparkling. They're twinkling.
That's right. Everyone just like the whole family. Everyone's just
The father-in-law's out there with his martini half in a bag, and the uncle's smoking a cigar. Yeah.
Oh, great movies,
Classic
dude.
movie.
Classics, dude.
Shitter's full, Clark.
Number 2, Cafe Racer. So we coming off the back of the flat tracker, we're moving into the second leaked bike, which is the Cafe Racer. So like the flat tracker, to me, Lurch, it seems to be based on the 975cc Revolution Max engine from the Bronx Streetfighter. But like I said, with the flat tracker, they could easily put the old 1250cc in there. And maybe, just maybe, it will come with 2 displacement options. It's also worth noting, Lurch, that this Cafe Racer model is likely to appear this year. So later in 2020 as a 2021 model. I reiterate, I hope that's the case, but I don't know if it will with Levatich stepping down. I know there's been a lot of pivots just within
There's been some projects probably put on hold, and they're evaluating some directions as they were going with the new CEO in there.
Exactly.
Sure.
So we're going on the best information we have, guys, at this time, but we don't obviously have a source inside the company yet. If you want to be a source, email us.
We will not divulge you as
We'll
a
actually
source.
find a private way to communicate with you. I'll set up something that is very safe, and
we're going to go old school, and we're going to, drop packages and have drops like where you go to the park and you pick up this thing by the lamppost. We'll put a package there, and there'll be a whole like spy thing going on.
Dude.
Yeah. That's half of the fun of it.
It is. Hardy Place will definitely come up. We could do pigeons. Just do the pigeons, dude. Have a pigeon cage out behind the lab studio here. Just send our pigeons doing the
in this
clapping stuff,
high-tech
dude.
world, the best way to get away with that is go low-tech.
Yeah,
Nobody's
exactly.
tracking low-tech stuff.
It's true, dude. True, dude. We might get some lab pigeons. All right. So anyways, if you ever did want to be a source, by the way, I'm not kidding. Get a hold of us and we'll work it out, because it would be interesting to find out some of the actual stuff that's going inside Hardy that Hardy's try to keep so secret because they don't want the public to know. So, all right. So, so the chassis of the Cafe Racer here, looking at it, it's again, to me, similar to the Bronx Lurch and the Flat Tracker. So clearly based off a lot of the same stuff, has the same front suspension, those Brembo brakes, all that kind of stuff. It does look like it's going to get its own simple, straight swing arm design instead of that tubular triangulated thing. It's more of a standard like Dyna, right? Like just straight, like what I remember. Just that tube square swing arm.
Yep.
Sorry, not tube, square swing arm. Yeah. That's visually, that's really all I can relate it to. So, but it's a notable thing on this bike to me is the rising rate monoshock in favor. Or is this the one that has the...
Well,
no, sorry, my bad. I'm looking at the wrong picture. So to me, let me make sure I have the right. Sorry, I'm scrolling through these bike guys. So instead of using the rising rate monoshock, they went with the more traditional twin rear suspension,
like
right?
Dynas.
So I have that
exposed,
backwards.
with exposed double shocks on it. I out of the two of them, I like the look of this one better. Yeah, this is a little more Harley.
You do
me.
like racing from cafe to cafe.
Yeah,
you get your next meal, bro.
I guess. I see a little more Harley in this one when I look at it, and maybe part of it is the swing arm and the exposed shocks. It looks a little more traditional. It's got that little windscreen on the front that
keeps more of a Harley flair. Dare you say?
I dare say that.
Dare you say?
I feel like that's a little more of a Harley. I mean, there's a whole lot of street bike involved in this thing. I mean, if you put your hand over most of the bike and just look at that front wheel and those front forks, that's definitely street bike.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start looking at the rear of it and looking at those exposed dual shocks, the type of swing arm that has, the windscreen. I see a lot of Harley input in it.
Dude, nicely said.
And again, if I was a normal size, I'd love ripping around this thing.
Dude.
It's just, I'm just too big.
He's the 7-foot man.
I'd have to.
Saying,
it's got European style mid controls, so you're leaning forward on that thing. You got the cafe style handlebars, which are down low, so you're definitely going to be leaning forward. A lot of weight on your or pressure, on your wrists and your forearms and whatnot, and not the most comfortable riding position for long distances. But if you wanted something just to rip around town, this would be a hoot.
I agree.
If I was average size like you, I think I'd consider this.
You pull the wheel on this thing all day.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this rendition, again, these are mocked up, leaked photos. And by the way, all jokes aside, this stuff was like not necessarily supposed to get out as early as it was, but
that happens.
Yeah, it definitely happens. But this rendition of it, they've got the gold, over the motor,
powder
coated, and the gold headers coming off of it, the main pipes there, gives it a unique look. It really pops on that black. Of course, I'm sure they'll have other colors. It's got of course, liquid cooled. So all these bikes that we're talking about have the big ass radiator up front, but I think that's the way they're going to move.
That is the wave of the future. But when you look at,
I've always talked about that. Yeah.
You look at the flat tracker, you look at the Bronx, they're pretty, and it could have something to do with the color. The pictures that we're looking at, the flat tracker is blue. The Bronx is red, and we're looking at this mock-up of the Harley Cafe Racer, and it's black. So while it has that big radiator on the front, the rest of the bike is black, and so is the radiator, so it kind of all blends together.
Yeah.
It's not standing out to me. My eye doesn't draw to it right away.
I think it's because of me. I'm a little bit biased. They always look hideous to me, but maybe that's because I key in on them and I shouldn't.
Well,
and I get
every
it.
other motorcycle has them.
I know.
You know, we're kind of spoiled with the Harleys and the twin cooled or the air cooled bike where you get to see them.
My KLR has one. You know,
they all do.
I know.
They all did. I mean, all my street bikes had them before I moved to Harley. We've just been spoiled with that look. The lack
cleaner
of
look.
Yes, it's so much cleaner. You get to see more motor.
Yeah. I always thought Harley would be the one to figure out an innovative way to hide it more. Now they did in the, hiding it in the lowers on the ultra classics and stuff. So they did a good job there, but clearly here they're just like everybody else is doing it this way. I can't blame them.
No.
I mean, why? If everybody else is doing it that way and selling bikes with it there, people will get used to it. And I'm just being so nitpicky. I mean, big deal. It's a liquid cooled motor, and it's probably the right direction anyways.
For this bike, for sure.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
For these types of bikes,
you get away with it
way
here.
To go.
Yeah.
It doesn't look foreign on these bikes.
Totally true. Good points, Lurch. Thanks for those points. So let's move on here. Make sure we're not missing anything. So this Cafe Racer, obviously, like we talked about earlier, the Pan America Adventure is a new arena for Harley to enter. So they're clearly, getting into the adventure. They're getting into a Cafe Racer now. Now, although the bike is definitely a Cafe Racer, like Lurch mentioned, and I think he said it well, it very much maintains a Harley flair for the aforementioned reasons. So some of the other notable items on this Cafe Racer that I want to mention are the small minimal nose cowl. Looks like the one very similar on my Dyna Lowrider S, guys. And if you've seen the Lowriders, they've got that little fairing and cowl.
Kind of for
Sons of Anarchy.
Center. That's how most people can think of it. It's that little Sons of Anarchy
the
screen.
Jack Teller.
That's right.
Yeah, bike.
On his, what was that, Super Glide?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And finishing up, the gas tank shape has a hint of Sportster. The seat looks like that of a XR 1200.
No doubt.
So we've got a picture here. I just want to remind myself so it's the very XR 1200 type seat. And if you guys look up that bike and compare it to this new Cafe Racer, you'll see what we're talking about. So again, this too would be a fun little bike to rip around on. Another short range bike, of course. But it sounds like it's coming. So be ready for it. And we want to dive into one more new bike that there's some limited information on the Harley website. We're going to dive into that bike and what you need to know about it. And then we're going to follow up with a couple other very interesting things, some bike models and things you should definitely know about Harley and what's going on and some of the direction that they're going. So ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike those gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around in your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps to dampen vibrations. With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our lineup of butt buffer seat cushions. Hey, Bikeaholics, you searching for the easiest and quickest attachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint.
Slap your paint.
Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. Can't find it anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers, guys. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to Law Abiding Biker Store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. There you go, guys. Rock on. All right, so getting back in here, Lurch.
To the custom.
Yeah, so there's some interesting information on, it's actually listed on the Harley site at this time. If you go into the Harley website and you go to their future, I forget what it's called, future tab, our internet literally is down. We just had a massive thunderstorm. We barely had enough to get our notes up and what we needed for this show. So
yeah, even our data on our cell phones is running super slow.
We tried to hotspot a bunch of towers, but we had lightning and massive winds, and we're just lucky to have the lights on and be able to record on the mixer here. So, anyways, you'll find it on their site. Go to motorcycles, and I think it's Future or Concept Bikes or something like that. But this time it's called the Future Custom Model. It's planned for 2021. It's listed as a 1200cc liquid cooled engine. Seems like they're going liquid cooled here, Lurch. The website says the all new custom motorcycle with a muscular stance, aggressive stripped down styling, and 1200cc of pure performance, Lurch. And if that ain't a title there, what else is, dude? They know how to title it. Makes it sound sexy, right? So take a peek over on the Hardy website, guys. If that piques your curiosity, we have a picture of it here. That's about all the information they have on their website, but they do have a picture of it if you're listening to the podcast and you want to take a look at that bike. And these new bikes, Lurch, just the tip of the iceberg. FYI. You thought I was going somewhere else with
I was waiting for it.
Wasn't going to do it, dude. Wasn't going to do it. I got to wet my whistle.
Some of the traditional or Harley-Davidson traditionalists are thinking, what's with all this cafe racer, this flat tracker bullshit? I mean, focus on what made Harley. And they still are. I mean, if I'm looking right now at the what's new for 2020, they got the Road Glide Special Paint Edition, Softail Standard. They got a Fat Boy 30th Anniversary Edition. They're still doing what us, according to Ryan, middle of the age bracket guys,
thank you,
and the older riders are used to. They're always going to keep their bread and butter going. The touring bikes, the soft tails, the Fat Boys and whatnot. But in order to survive as a company, they've got to diversify and find ways to bring people into Harley-Davidson. That's that whole Roads to Harley initiative type thing. Now, what brought me into Harley wasn't a flat tracker or a cafe style bike. It was the Dyna and the Softails and that kind of look. The Bob Fenders, the ape hangers,
and a little bit of the lifestyle, right?
The lifestyle, the attitude, the way the bike shook and sound. I mean, I had a Honda VFR.
Thanks for being honest.
800. Crotch rocket. It was a little bit more of the VFR, for anybody that's aware of it, is a little bit more of a relaxed riding style, but it's still a cafe bike.
I rode next to you on that on my Wide Glide before you got your Harley.
Oh,
good times.
Love that
good
bike.
memories.
And
golf tournament,
I had a buddy that had a 04 Wide Glide, first Harley I ever rode. He goes, "Hey, you want to jump on this thing?" I'm like, "All right." And it wasn't very far. We're out near my house when we swapped bikes, and I jumped on his, and it was such a weird feeling going from being on a European saddle, meaning, leaning forward with your hands on the bars, your feet behind you.
Right, mid-controls
to go into more of an American style riding position, more of an American style where you're sitting down, your feet are either in front of you or straight down, and he had some forward controls on that bike, and I remember thinking I felt like I was balancing that bike with my hips and my butt. All the weight seemed like it was right through the center of my body, whereas on my sport bike, leaning forward, it felt like everything was just in my shoulders and my arms. A lot more nimble. Right. So it was a different position and everything, but the attitude that bike was awesome. He had some thunder headers on. It was loud and it was rough, and I just really enjoyed what it was. So what got
rattled your loins
a little bit. So what got me into Harley,
honest,
may not be what gets. So that I was 25, 27 then. So,
now
20,
you're 59, right?
46. So,
Right.
20 years later, what's going to get somebody in a Harley? So if I'm the brand, if I'm the owner, I've got to look at things that are going to draw in the new group of riders, because if I don't, eventually I'm going to die off. So a little confused, like I said earlier, myself, and I'm sure a lot of other, traditionalists are going, "This is bullshit. What the hell is going on here?" But the fact is, guys, if the company does not adapt and adjust to the newer generation,
They should have did it sooner, 10 years ago, but they're trying
they're
now.
Fail.
Yeah,
they're going to fail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good points, dude. And awesome. And I just think they're about 10 years. They should have started a long time ago, but now they're playing catch up. And you're right. And, another point to piggyback off you there is, they are still making a lot of the traditional bikes, right? It's just that the new ones get attention, right? So everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're changing and the world's falling down." No, they're actually still making all those bikes. Now they've discontinued the Dynas, which people are pissed about that. A lot of people, but
I know, I love the Dyna.
Love the Dyna model. But nonetheless, they're not completely just abandoning all their, regular models. It's just that these are getting a lot of attention because we haven't seen this from Harley before.
It's new. It's new. It's different.
New. Exactly. And that's always going to get the attention. So thanks, Lurch, for that.
I finally got the, it took forever to get
did
the
you load
website
it?
up.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to bikes,
Only took an hour and 1 minute.
one of the things that you can look at, so you click on bikes, if you go to the main webpage, you got motorcycles, balance bikes, electric vehicles, and future bikes. Future bikes is the one you want to click on. That's where you get over to the Pan America, the Bronx, and electric concepts, future e-bicycles, all that kind of stuff they're moving into. The one you want to click that we were talking about most recently is the future high-performance custom model.
Nice. Thanks for looking that up. So in total, the More Roads to Harley plan calls for 16 new liquid-cooled V-twin middleweights across 3 ranges. They are 2 Pan America adventure bikes, 9 Streetfighter standard models, and 5 custom designs. Additionally, Harley is also still planning to launch a small displacement model in partnership with a Chinese company. And I know the company, I just can't pronounce it, so I just left it out. All right, so on top of that, Harley plans to launch at least one small displacement parallel twin bike this year. It's a 338cc machine being made in alliance with the same Chinese company. All right, so of course, Harley's other big push, Lurch, electric bikes. We see it. You just read it right off their site. One of those sections is electric bikes and bicycles. They're clearly getting into electric bicycles. Between 2 and 5 electric models will be launched in 2021, 2022. Most interesting to me, and I told you this before the podcast, we were looking at it, is the new middleweight electric bike with dirt tracker. Looks to me, it's called the EDT600R in Harley's investor documents. And it looks like it's going to be taking its technology, obviously, from the Livewire, bring it to a larger audience at a more affordable price, we hope. Right?
Let's hope.
And, the electric bikes look fun. I'm not ready to give up. We've talked about that internal combustion, but I would actually love to have that bike. If you guys get a chance, you should really look up that EDT 600R.
There you go.
And I'm going to try to put...
it looks like a
show
dirt
notes
bike.
are going to be fucking insane, dude. But
yeah, look at that thing.
It's just, dude, you know how much fun I could have around here on a bike like that? Just wheelie the crap. It's almost like a,
it's like a BMX bike.
It's almost like a trials bike. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's not, but it is. Like it's almost and I can't tell the size and scale, but it's almost like a flat trucker
It's
yet
about
trials
4 bikes
bike.
put together.
You know what I'm talking
Right.
about?
Oh,
like
yeah,
a trials bike. Like you could just wheelie and manipulate that thing around and burn out through the grass, and you could ride it in dirt
Up over stuff.
Yeah, and just go because it's just electric. Just get on and rip the throttle and all that torque at your disposal. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, and again, this is just a rendition. This is clearly maybe not the final product, but I don't know. That to me, out of all we've talked about today, this to me looks like something, if it was a reasonable price, just for fun factor, and getting into the electric game. Of course, I would never give up my other bike. This is clearly for a very certain purpose. But my God, I could have fun on that thing, dude.
That's one that you're most excited about looking at all of them.
I know you can see it too, huh? I'm like literally excited about like I can just see myself because I've always wanted to get a trials bike too. I just love, a pit bike. I would love to have a little pit bike just for ripping around and wheeling around the yard and stuff. I'm just a kid, guys. Clearly, if you know me by now, I am a large. I will never grow up. I love playing like that, and I just have been too busy to even get a pit bike. I just want to get a pit bike and go wheel it around my neighborhood and stuff. Just stupidity, but I just like having fun like that. Just something you can rip up and spin up and go cruise around. But yeah.
I was able to pull up a picture of the future custom model, and I got to tell you, all the bikes that we've been talking about and the different features of it, this is probably the coolest combination of all of them.
To you?
It is.
Nice. Yes, I'm glad you picked your favorite.
It is.
There it is.
It's low. Oh. Nope.
No, I went to the Harley site for it because I thought we'd have internet.
I'll turn it around so you can see it because I've already looked at it enough. But
take me another hour to load.
It kind of reminds me of some of the bikes I've already seen out there, some of the Sportsters type bikes.
Oh, yeah. That's bringing it back.
See it?
Yep.
So it's very long and low and sleek.
Flat
and
seat almost.
Yeah, it's just that looks like a Harley.
It does. It maintains a Harley flair for sure.
Right. But it's got that big front tire, and it looks like some of the bikes that we've already seen before. And
dual exhaust coming out the right side, stacked dual exhaust. It's got that Revolution Max.
It looks like
it's a 1200cc. I think it's the maybe. It's weird.
It looks like it's going 100 miles an hour sitting still.
Yeah, it does. It's weird because I thought the spec said, what does it say? A 1200cc? Yeah, sorry. Because it's weird to me that they make a different Revolution Max engine just for that.
This says a 1250cc.
Okay, my bad. My notes were wrong.
That's the larger of the
I said Max, 1200. My notes were wrong. Because I was like, why would they make a 1200cc just for that bike? Because it looks like the Revolution Max. So it would be the 1250.
I'm expanding the size of the picture. And yes, it is the larger of the Revolution Max motors.
So disregard.
It does have a tubular rear swing arm. But the fender, I shouldn't say the fender, the seat, rear fender, tank, the way that the front wheel and triple trees and everything's set up, it looks a little more like a Harley. I like the way it looks. It's compact. It's long and lean. It just looks, like I said, it looks like it's 100 miles an hour just sitting still.
Yeah.
Let me turn this around for you. This is a larger picture of it and give you a better look.
That is large and lean. Yeah. No, I like it a lot. I don't know why that little ED.
It just feels like the best mixture of the bikes that we just talked about.
I agree. It definitely says Harley still. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says right on the gas tank.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I can't read that. I need my glasses, dude. I need my glasses. Is that what that is? Yeah, it does. It does it well with that bike. And that's on Harley's site, so it must be a fairly close depiction.
2021 is what they're saying.
Of what it's going to look like. Yeah.
Which could be out later this year.
Mm-hmm. That's a ripper. Mm-hmm. That's a ripper for sure. I'd still rather have that little electric dirt bike thing, dude. But that's me. So, yeah. So, a lot of changes. Interesting, Harley making the pivot and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. But I know some of my videos in the comments, Lurch, you see them because you help me monitor the YouTube comments. A lot of heated passion on both sides of the aisle from people, and a lot of Harley haters too. Just especially my Levatich video. God, I never knew there were so many Harley haters. But we try to keep it fair and balanced here. On kind of what's going on, and just give you the information, and then you chew on it and do what you want. But I would say it's worth taking a look at these bikes. They are coming. And it might, believe it or not, Lurch, a lot of our audience. We have such a large audience, a diverse audience, that a lot of those bikes will actually probably interest. Like some of our guys maybe, finally, I wanted a cafe racer from, like me, I wanted an adventure bike, even though I'm not going to get their first one. I'm generally curious. It excites me a little bit to see some of that because they are being very innovative. Clearly, they're coming out with some stuff we never expected Harley to see, and the electric stuff. Now, on the other but on another note, on that drop down menu on their Harley site, if you still have it up, if it's loaded,
I do.
They're really getting in, and I will just tell you guys this. I don't have any information other than my own gut instinct, but I think it's fair just based on this is that Harley's going to be making electric bicycles. Like straight up, they already are. They're partnering and they actually have bicycles. I want to get my kid one, dude. They're so cool looking, but can't justify a $600 electric bike for my kid. They got enough toys.
They've got under the same tab, the future bicycles or future vehicles.
But you can already buy those electric bikes for kids.
It says coming in 2021, e-bicycles.
Yep.
Harley-Davidson's first electric pedal assist bicycles are light, fast, and easy for anyone to ride.
They're the ones with the kids on them, right? I can't see what you're looking at.
There's no kids here. Designed to shine in urban environments, this all-new line of e-bicycles is just one more example of how Harley-Davidson is actively working to inspire a new generation of two-wheeled riders around the world.
Okay, well, they're actually selling electric bikes right now. So you're on a different tab.
This is an electric pedal-assisted bike.
Right. So there's no. What I'm saying, Lurch, is because there's another. So that's the future. Now they're actually selling ones for kids right now. They partner with a company. It's not them making them. I remember that discussion. It's on their website. I think it's under motorcycles. Yeah, you need to go to a different tab.
Electric.
Yeah, they're actually selling. You can actually buy them. Because I looked at it for my kid. I was like $600 for an electric bike, and it's a Harley-Davidson. They got pictures of kids riding, but they're actually selling those. God, if I could bring my...
I'm having a hard time finding... when I look under electric motorcycles, all I see is the Livewire. And bikes, motorcycles, balance... Is that balance? No, not under balance bikes.
Yeah, it was under one of those, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Sorry. If we can't find it, it's no big deal. But I do know that I was looking, and now they're going to be making more adult electric bicycles, like straight up electric bicycles. But this was their... And what I wanted to... I guess one of the points I wanted to make... Shop all electric vehicles. Right there. Electric vehicles, shop all electric vehicles. And they'll be under there.
Well, the interwebs are slow right now.
Yeah, they're very slow. But hey, they're getting better.
They're there.
Yeah.
So, it is the balance.
Is it the balance?
Yeah.
Balance bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
$649. Yeah.
So the point I wanted to make on those, Lurch, is to end this podcast on that is, what are they doing right there?
Getting
exposing little kids to the brand.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see the value in that. If you can get somebody hooked on the brand early, you're better off.
Yeah.
As a brand owner, as a company.
So you got the Iron 12, the Iron 16, and it's worth taking a look at if it's something you're interested in. I wish they weren't so expensive, but electric bikes in general are expensive, so I don't know that those are crazy. I actually want to get one of these for myself if the seats went higher, dude. I'd ride this around my neighborhood. I seriously would. But the seats are so low, dude. And you know what I mean?
Well, obviously they're going to raise. I just don't know how far it'll raise up.
Yeah,
it looks like it's got a detachable battery pack right on front there. See that bad boy?
You can charge it exactly.
Mm-hmm. Probably bet you that pops off and you charge it. And
they got the Harley logos, the Harley colors, big knobby tires. Dude, I would have dreamed of one of those when I was a kid, huh? One of those. But yeah, I don't know how high the seats goes because I would literally...
My dad was said, just pedal your happy ass on down the road. I'm not buying you.
Kind of what I told my kids. They don't even know these exist.
Bike, you lazy asshole.
I thought about that too. I thought about that too. I was like, dude, that'd be cool for my kids. I'm like, I'm promoting laziness. Yeah, that they can ride their, like you say, I don't tell them that, but in my mind, I'm like, you can pedal your happy ass right down. It's good for you, kid. It's good for you, kid. I'm a little
character.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little old school when it comes to that, dude. But the Iron 16, the Iron 12.
Oh, no. Okay, so the Iron 12 is good for 3 to 5 year olds with this, so under 75 pounds.
Yep.
And then you go up to Iron 16, you're 5 to 7 year olds under 75 pounds.
I don't think those seats are going much higher, bro.
Yeah, no. Those aren't big boy electric bikes.
I wish they would make it so,
you're going to have to get yourself a Livewire or that DR 600 TR 753.
Oh, no doubt, dude. But they're definitely, guys, they're going to straight up be making electric bicycles aside from motorcycles. Not only electric motorcycles, but electric bicycles. So there you go, guys. Whew. Anything else you want to end on there on that note, Lurch?
Well, I think I already said it as a bit of a traditionalist. It's hard for me. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but I get where they're going with these e-bikes and these little custom bikes. You got to get people and you got to get them hooked. And then I would say that anybody listening to this that's a Harley owner probably did not buy a Street Glider and Ultra to start out with. More than likely, some people do, depending on where you
if they came from.
Depends on what bikes.
Another touring bike, Honda Goldwing or something.
But it seems like in my experience and talking to a lot of people, their first Harley was some type of Sportster or Softail or Dyna, and then eventually work their way up to a big touring bike. So it's smart. Harley's trying to get you in, trying to get you hooked. We'll see what time tells. But my first initial reaction was, but then once I kind of looked at it and realized and started to appreciate them for what they were and what they're going at, I'm good with it, because they're not getting rid of the bikes that I like. I mean, they're still going to be, well, except for the Dyna, so maybe that's not 100% true, but they're still going to have the bread and butter that Harley has, the touring bikes and a lot of the Softails and whatnot. So the brand's not dying, it's just adapting, and get over it, get used to it.
Well said. Well said. Now, we love our patron members. We want to get to know you better. We want you in the private Facebook group. We want to get you benefits. We want to live chat with you and all that. But hey, for whatever reason, you can't do that right now, and the only way you want to support us is through a flat donation. Well, of course, we never had a flat donation. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. Roman Galubitz of Austria. Shout out to Austria. Fiore Zuccarelli of Hartsdale, New York, and Byron Tapasola. That's right. They all went to lawabidingbiker.com/donate and showed us a little love, so we can, it helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
We keep this thing running on down the road.
Don't forget, guys, call to action. We're growing our store, Law Abiding Biker store. We're adding more products.
Fertilizing it. We're watering it. We're growing it.
Caressing it. Loving it. Feeding it. Yes, we are adding products all the time. It's going to continue to grow. We're doing a lot of really cool things. We revamped the website, all that kind of stuff. Really easy to navigate, we hope, the way I kind of designed it. And hopefully it's easy to get through. But nonetheless, we are working on a lot of Vance & Hines stuff. We are a Vance & Hines dealer. We're revamping a lot of their... There's still a lot there right now, but we're going to make them even a little bit more organized. But head over there, guys, if you need anything Vance & Hines, pipes, intakes, EFI tuners. You don't see it, here's the deal. If you don't see it, just understand we can get a lot of stuff for you guys at a reasonable price. It just may not be listed on our site yet. So a lot of guys are hitting us up at the store. They see something Vance & Hines, and they're like, can you get it? Well, yeah, because we have access to it all. We just don't have it listed on our site yet. So if you want some pipes for your bike, a specific, something else, intake or something, hit us up over at the Law Abiding Biker store, lawabidingbiker.com/store. You can hit up our contact form. Big Daddy Kane down there, Goat, those guys down there, just tell them, part number, what you want, and they'll tell you bottom line what we can do it for, and whether we can get it in your hands. We'll try to be the best, but if we're not, then it is what it is. But we'll certainly be honest with you, and if we can get you hooked up, of course, a little love goes in each package, and you know where it's coming from. It helps support us, and so we can continue to create all this free content and continue our mission to educate, entertain, inspire, motivate, whatever it is, bikers around the world, guys. That's what we're trying to do here. So that helps with our mission. lawabidingbiker.com/store, Vance & Hines dealer, guys. And we have hooked up a ton of people over the years with the Vance & Hines product, especially in stock. Of course, our Fuel Pack 3 EFI tuner.
Love my Fuel Pack 3.
That video is older, but it still gets a ton of views. We probably need to do a refresh.
We should.
A new install of a FP3 just to kind of update my video. But we'll see. We'll see. Add that to the list of 3,000 projects.
We need it in 4K.
We do need it. Oh, you're right. That probably was. Yeah, what actually was. You're right. You're right, guys. Don't forget, you want to hit us up, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. We'd love to hear from you.